Alright guys, today I'm just gonna do this as a voiceover. I'm thinking of doing more voiceovers, but yeah, check this out. I'm just gonna show you guys how to layer vinyl today. And right here I am reverse weeding it. The reason why I'm doing this, kind of like dragging the pick around the vinyl, is because when I'm gonna put down the transfer tape, I have to lay it down. I have to loosen it so that when I put the transfer tape off, take it off, it like completely comes off and doesn't stick onto the piece of paper here. So yeah, I've been having trouble with that, so this is what I do to fix that problem. And I don't completely take it off of the whole paper, because if I do that, when I place down on the tape, it's gonna have a tendency to want to curl up onto the tape before it's actually like flat. And and if it's not completely flat onto the tape, it'll have a tendency to the ink will want to like come out basically. So I just kind of like drag it onto the side and make sure it's loose that way. And then I do that with all the letterings. It's kind of tedious, but it works. So that's how I do it. Alright, now that I have reverse weeded and everything, I'm going to put down the masking tape or the heat transfer tape, whatever you want to call it. But the way I do it is I lay it flat rather than the taco method, because if you do it that way, it'll come down onto everything. But if you do it the other way, it'll have a tendency to curl up the transfer vinyl, and you don't want that because the transfer tape has a tendency to peel off the ink if it's not flat. So right here I'm showing you guys not to do that. I want to do the voiceover because I think it helps me to explain everything, and it helps me get the video and information out to you guys sooner. So yeah, there I lay it down flat, and I'm just gonna use this ruler as like a squeegee basically. So making sure everything is laid down flat, and now I can just peel off the transfer tape, and watch, you guys are gonna see that everything comes off pretty good. Once you see that, if I were to have not reverse weed it, it'll just stay onto the paper basically. So yeah, I kind of learned this as I kept experimenting with different papers, and the one I use is a Nina Jet Opaque. That's my preference. It's always a good deal, and the transfers always last. And right here, watch, you can see that's what happens when you don't reverse weed it before you lay it down. So right there, I just reverse weed it, and now it just comes off easily. Alright guys, and then watch, you're gonna see right there the Y. See, that's what happens if you don't lay it down flat. The ink will smear like that, if you guys can look. So that's what happens if you don't lay it down flat. It'll curl up, and then the ink will peel off onto the tape, and then your whole transfer will be ruined. So be careful of that. But if you just lay it down exactly where it was, you're good to go as long as you heat press it down. And right there, you're gonna see that the egg didn't want to come and peel off, so I just pressed it down, and then boom, it came off easily. So yeah guys, I want to do more talking videos, because I know like sometimes people are driving around, they just want to listen to something. So consider this thing like as a podcast. Just learning as you listen. And right here I'm just measuring it, making sure it's all in the middle. 4 fingers down, and that's about it. And then right here, here's another thing another tip I'm gonna give you guys. Sometimes there's air bubbles. Just poke it down with the little pick that you get from Dollar Tree, and let it breathe, and there, fixes that problem.